I was sitting here thinking, I was feeling some kind of way about being in a wheelchair, but then I said, oh Allah, which of your favors are your Lord and I? Because I was in a wheelchair, when we got to the router, they put me right in front of the prophet's graves. Everybody that was in a wheelchair, they put us right in front of it. They said they normally don't let sisters get that close.
Absolutely. We didn't get a chance to see it. Some of the brothers didn't, so alhamdulillah, we went around some other way and didn't see the prophet's grave. We had to see it on the outside. So alhamdulillah.
I just wanted to say, all praises due to Allah, but Labbaika Allahumma Labbaik. When I said that and chanted that, I realized not only does Allah know where I am at every moment and every time, that when I was chanting, it was for me to realize where I was. So everything for me was so spiritual and so making me want to just understand that Allah was giving me something spiritual to hold on to. Because even as we circled and went around the Kaaba and we got close to it, all I heard was once we were right there, they said to touch and release. And what I found that it was all just a part of my spiritual growth there, and just trying to realize that the place that Allah had brought me to and what it all meant for me spiritually. And that's the whole thing that I got, was just a spiritual experience. And it was a wonderful, wonderful sisterhood with my sisters that I will never forget. Because Sister Sheila, she called me one morning during a Friday prayer when they had just called her. She wanted me to come to the window and just look. There were people in droves. They were just coming in droves. It was such a wonderful and beautiful sight. And I'll never forget that. And I'll never forget the times that we spent together, because it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing and difficult to even talk about, but I thank Allah for it.
I thank Allah for the journey, because I'm glad I found out that the Imam is just as pushy as I am, right? I know I was pushy when I said something to Swedia, Sheila, and Theba, but I kind of felt that it was my time, that Allah had invited me, and I wasn't gonna let nothing stand in the way, right? Because I come from a Christian family. They do a lot during the Christmas time, so when I first found out about the Umrah, it was during Christmas. And I told my family I was going to Umrah, and they was like, oh, okay, we happy, how we gonna make this work? And then I said, during Christmas, and you know what that meant? Oh no, mama, But I thank God for Sister Ann, because I didn't want to disappoint my family and I didn't want to disappoint myself. But she said, Sister Sheila, I'm going to find out when Philly is going. Let's see when they go. I said, all right, Sister Ann, give me the phone number, give me the email, whatever we got to do. And I thank Allah, it was in October. And it just soothed my soul, because at that time my soul was in an uproar, because I knew Allah was calling me. He was telling me, he was inviting me, and I didn't want to disappoint him and I didn't want to disappoint my family. But he made a way. And when he said this religion is easy, he just made it so easy for me. And because he invited me, he allowed me to invite some amazing women and sisters to take this journey with me. Because they could have easily said, oh no, sister, I'm not going. But, I encouraged them and they encouraged me. And that is why Allah said, he make it easy for us. If you are sincere in your intention and your heart is right, he will make it easy. And everything was just falling in place. If we came up against an obstacle, I didn't let that stop us. You know, people would say, Sheila, this happened. I said, girl, that ain't nothing. We're going to overcome that. You know, that ain't no setback. We're going to just see how we're going to set it up that we can move on. We can do better. So my journey to Umrah, I didn't have any difficulties. And if I did, I didn't know it. Because I knew my journey was easy. Until they lost me.
Don't say you don't say that. We didn't lose her. She lost us.
But from the day one when we got on the plane to New York City, to this day right here, I am still so overwhelmed of Allah's mercy. And I pray from this day to the day I return to Him. I will still be overwhelmed with emotion at what He allowed me to witness. Because it was such a beautiful, beautiful day. When we would get up for Fajr prayer, and like Sheila was saying one morning, I don't know what told me to look out the window. I didn't even know what was out the window at the hotel. But something guided me to the window. And when I looked out the window, and I saw the people coming down the street to prayer, it reminded me when Allah said His soul's gonna come on the day of judgment. And that's when I saw the souls coming to Allah. And I called my sister, I said, look what Allah is allowing us to see. While we're living, the souls coming to Allah. And I think that's why I didn't see any difficulty. I didn't feel any difficulties. Whatever the situation was, that's what it was until they lost me. But it was such a beautiful, beautiful journey. And we already know that if Allah invites us again, we are already setting up that next, well, look, we said 2 years, but the year has already come into play. So it's next year, right? That we have in a bank account that we're going to put funds in there so that we are ahead of next year. And if Allah wills it so, we will go back again. We already decided that the 4 of us going to be roommates again. You know, because our journey was just that beautiful, and the sisterhood was that beautiful. We did not sleep. Because it seemed like as soon as we laid down, it was time for Fajr, right? Because we would lay there and we would talk for hours. Now Sheila, she would go to sleep.
Sheila got her
We
sleep.
talk, yeah. We would talk her to sleep. She said we would rock her to sleep without talking. But as soon as we laid down, it was time for Fajr. We had to get up, and them calling their day, it was just beautiful. I would just lay there and just listen to it in my ears and try to remember what I felt at that moment. I did not want any moments to escape me. Not one. And I was the picture taker, right? I would always take pictures of us. I'd be like, wait, let me take a picture, let me take a picture. So that we would have some documentation of our trip. But when we got to Mecca, I wanted to take some pictures, but that was not the reason why I was there, to take pictures. Because when we was waiting to go to the Kaaba, I did not know I gave Sweria my pouch. And in my pouch was my telephone and camera. So when we was going around the Kaaba, I was so emotional, and I thought about it. I said, let me take a picture. But I didn't have it. So that wasn't for me to take a picture of it. It was for me to witness it and feel it in my heart, my soul, and my spirit. That is what Allah wants me to remember. That I don't have to look at the picture because I can feel it. And now when I see pictures of the Kaaba, I get overwhelmed. You know, and they said that They didn't see it as big, it was small, but to me, it was a giant. It was bigger than life because I wanted to be there. And I wanted that experience. And I say when I go back again, I want to go. My sister, she brought me into this religion. And we said we would go together. But that wasn't a journey for the both of us. That was a journey for us, right? So I said, next time I go back, inshallah, I'll be able to go for her. If Allah give me the strength to wear with, that I want to go for her. Because she brought me to this day. She let me know how beautiful this was with her spirit and who she was. And I just hope and pray to Allah that I can give that to somebody else. That they will see who I am and want to know the God that's within me. You know, and my experience, we got Zam water. And my family, now they Christian, all my family Christian. But they come over there to get some Zam water. They be like, you got some more Zam, so I don't give but a little bit. I said, look, we got to make this stretch to the next time I go back, right? But it just shows how Allah let other people see you and see how your experience affect them too. And they always want me, well, tell me a little bit about what everybody was calling me. Tell me about your story, your experience, you know. And they get just as overwhelmed as I do. When I tell them, and I tell my daughter and my sisters and friends, they want to have this experience too. But the only thing is sometimes people is afraid. They're afraid to branch out. And I tell them, I chose this religion for myself. This wasn't a religion that my mother or father gave me or the world. I chose this religion. I searched for Allah. And I am so thankful that He blessed me and He chose me for this religion also. That maybe, what Allah says, save yourself and save your family. That it will be another family member that choose also. You know, and it will continue in my family. After they lost me. I'm going to tell y'all how they lost me, right? So the whole time I kept saying, Theba, Sheila, and Sweya, let's stay together, right? You know, y'all know Theba is fast, right? She moving like a car. I said, Theba, slow down. You're going to get lost in the crowd, and we're not going to find you. Because y'all know Medina, it's big. You don't know what door you went in or what door you come out. But she had to be always the leader. I said, Theba, slow down. I had to tell Sheila, slow Theba down. Because if we get lost, we're not going to find each other in the crowds of people, right? Guess who got lost? Me. All three of them, they're going to lose me in the mall. I'm standing in line, and I turn around. they gone. I said, now, how y'all going to leave and lose the leader? Y'all don't know where y'all going. They didn't know how to get back to the hotel, so they left the leader.
We were in the hotel.
We was in the downstairs, at the mall though. But
we won't no further than from that door to this one. We were standing right there. She didn't see, we weren't standing in her face.
She was lost.
So she was lost. We were standing right, we sat there, because I couldn't stand up long. So I had to get in a seat. And I sat in the chair, and so, who saw you first?
Sheila. Sheila was standing up.
All I know, I just saw this woman bust out crying, and
I was crying. But that day I was emotional, right? That was one of my emotional days. And I'm telling y'all, what's happening with her? I said, how y'all think that I'm going to find y'all looking like Malaysian with sisters? all of them looking like the Malaysian sisters. Y'all know what the Malaysian sisters look like. They look a lot like us. And it was a lot of people in the mall. Y'all looking like Malaysian sisters. I know who y'all was. And then I saw Sheila, she was standing up because she tall. And I looked down there, I just burst out crying. I said, now how y'all gonna lose the leader? But anyway, so then they did apologize, y'all. I got to say, they apologized that they lost me.
I had to go take her and buy her something.
Yeah, she did have to buy me something. And we got back, they apologized. And I accept all the apologies after I finished crying for 15 minutes.
Let me see 1 second. Assalamualaikum. So I'm back and forth in this kitchen so we can get ready for iftar. But when she started talking about being lost, the leader,
Yeah, you
they
got
lost
lost.
me.
You ran off.
No. I said, I'm gonna meet y'all at the store that y'all wanted to go to right next to the elevator. How easy is that?
Easy, right?
Here they go. I couldn't find the store. It's right next to the elevator.
But we were up.
But here's the thing. We stayed lost the whole time. The whole time. We were so tired. We were in the wrong hotel. Couldn't think about what, and that Wakila had the card to the hotel. That's the only way we knew where we was going. She kept showing the card, and people kept saying, go this way, go this way. We finally got there in a hotel and went to the desk, and I said to the man, we not in this hotel. But I'm gonna need you to tell us where we need to be.
Yeah.
And we pulled the card out. And he said, alhamdulillah, just go this way, go that way. But I tell you, every day, when we lost every day, we was lost every day. We was lost together, except for the one time that y'all lost me.
That she ran off.
No, I didn't. We were lost in every city. We were lost in Medina, we was lost in Mecca, and we was lost in Cairo.
Oh, wow.
We stayed lost.
This leader something else. You know, we was all walking. I said, Then I started walking out and walking in front of them. And then here she go. Look at you acting like a big girl. we had a really, really good time. I'm telling you, we did.
It was such a blessing.
Yeah.
Such a blessing. Yeah, so we
La, la, la.
oh my gosh, okay, so that right there. It was these little kids that kept coming next to, like, right here and begging, trying to sell a tissue, right? We got tissues. We got tissues. A tissue. We got tissues, no problem, right? So I would say laugh, right? The little girl kept coming up to her. She said, Sister Ruth, what is it you say? I said, say laugh. She turned around and said, la 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 la. I said, no, what time?
Get up.
Just
Our mama came together.
just one time. Oh my God. We could not even eat. It was crazy. It was
really
crazy.
was crazy.
But I tell you, my time was totally off for everything. Because we literally 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning was in eating.
Yeah.
Up eating.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
And then we go back and we laughing and talking.
Yeah.
And then
Except for I went to sleep.
Prayer.
No. I went to sleep. I left them up laughing and talking.
Because I know you
Then-
got your sleep.
You know. We stayed together before. You
Yeah,
know what I did.
I know what she did.
Sister Lynette would go to sleep. But then them other two, Wakila and Arlene, listen, they were so bad that I would call Trina. Trina stuck out on us today. But I'm going to talk about her since though she's not here. I would text Trina on the phone and say, get down here now. They are cutting up, get down here now.
I'm going to tell Trina on you.
That's what I would say. I bypassed Brother Imam. I bypassed him. I said, I'm going to tell Trina, keep it up. You just keep it up. But it was such an enlightening experience, right? Because it's something that you only see and talk about and experience through others who have gone,
Right.
you know. But when you get there, Now, that's a long plane ride.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if anybody said that,
And
but
then all
that
the
was a
flights were
long
delayed,
plane.
going and
All of our
coming.
flights was delayed, we was looking crazy in the airport. But it really is life-changing. And but I